I love printing. I love printing. I love it. I love printing.
Today we have Amanda Bronowski. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Oh my God, it's a pleasure. So before we do anything and go anywhere, I just want to congratulate you again on Ivar. Amanda just had a baby not too long ago. She's been really busy during COVID.
Yes.
Between babies and direct mail, you've done a good job. Why don't you just give us a brief little who you are, where you're from, what you do, and then we'll pick up after that.
Sure. Okay. So my name is Amanda Bronowski. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm a sales executive for Heeter Printing. And during COVID last year, I kind of developed my own type of self-promotion and marketing strategy where I have done a lot of different marketing videos, especially around direct mail on LinkedIn. And that's how I got to meet Warren and a lot of awesome people on LinkedIn. And yeah, it's been going really well.
What got you into it, or what made you think of it, or what, just because you're going strong with it?
Well, it all kind of stemmed from the fact that I was new into sales. I have never done sales before. I was always on the operations sides of print. And right when COVID hit, it was right around where my first year of sales were. And it was terrible. I was so discouraged because I didn't know how to sell. I didn't have my own little quirk or niche or anything on how to sell things. And when COVID hit and I had all this time, I needed to figure out, how am I going to present this? How is something that I know how to do that I can get customers, and I can educate people at the same time. And that's where the light bulb kind of went off. My sons are always watching TikTok videos or Instagram videos. And I'm like, you know what, I can do that. And that's kind of where I started. And I decided, direct mail is one of the biggest things that I try to promote for what I sell. It's one of the biggest things that, Heeter's known for in this area. So that's kind of where I picked that topic and just started to roll with it. And at first it was a little clumsy and a little, backwards, but then all of a sudden I started picking up momentum and people really responded to, what I was putting out there.
Question. You mentioned that you were not in sales before that, and that you just got into sales. This is a Heeter question. Do they not have sales training that you did it yourself?
Well, they do. They definitely do. And when I got hired, like I said, it was kind of that weird, awkward time. They knew me through production. I've known the Heeter people for years and years and years and years.
Are they as hot as they sound? The Heeters, I don't know.
Hey, I'd like to say we are, because we are, we're one of the largest mom and pop, started shops that have, really, really done well, even during COVID and everything. I couldn't say anything else better about this company. It is an amazing company to work for. They made sure that during COVID, everything was taken care of for us, for the company, and we did really well. But like I said, with me for sales, it wasn't the fact that I didn't have training, because I was doing every training. I was doing it with them. I was doing it on my own. It's just something like my mind was still in operations. Like I'd start talking to a client and I would get so technical with things because that's what I knew. I know how machines work. I know how the process works. And for a customer, a marketing person, they don't want to hear that. Like they want to know that you're knowledgeable, but they don't want you preaching to them about the process. So it was really more that I needed to kind of flip my mindset into how to sell something rather than how to explain it's going to work or it's not going to work or, along those lines. So that was really more of a personal thing rather than, like I said, the training that they provided. Because like I said, they were amazing and made sure I had all the resources that I needed. It was me that needed to figure out, okay, well, if you're going to be a salesperson, you need to figure out how to connect with people to be able to sell to them. And I just, like I said, for the first year, I just wasn't getting that connection with my clients. And then all of a sudden these videos started and my sales went up 100%.
So first of all, kudos to you for a couple of things. Number one, not to be in sales and then end up in print. And a female, which, we need more of you. No, I'm not just sucking up. We need more of you.
I am the only female sales rep on our team too.
And you probably kill it, right?
I'm trying.
You know, no, but it's really, I think it's just really important just to have a mix of everybody, because then it just changes the whole room, adds other elements, and gives everyone more to think about.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool. But the fact that you started not in sales, the fact that you came in, the fact that you started on your own with these videos and then you killed it. Oh my God. Like, I remember every day on LinkedIn, the first 3, 4, 5 months of COVID, I would turn my phone on in the morning, just because that's what I do before I get out of bed after I check the news and the weather. I go to LinkedIn. And there you are. I'm like, again, she's awesome. So how did the other salespeople in the company react to that? Because I think you were probably picking up speed and they were probably just figuring out what to do.
Well, like I said, the one good thing about our company is that a lot of our sales reps were very, we're already well established. So like I said, I was the newest sales rep. So, luckily for them, they are all amazing salesmen. They had, clients and they were all doing great. It's funny, nobody really had a presence on LinkedIn though. So once I started doing these videos, I would get a couple messages like, oh, hey, can you help me make a video about this? Or, hey, what's your ideas on if I did something like that? They really didn't get into it as much as I did. This was kind of like my own thing, but they were all so supportive. And like I said, if they had questions or they wanted to post something, they would not hesitate to ask.
Does your company do a lot of marketing?
We do. We did, especially when COVID hit. And the one nice thing is they asked me to be kind of on a panel with a couple other of our sales reps to kind of go over our marketing and to see if we need it revamped. We have a really great marketing guy, and he does a lot of presence on Facebook. He does have a LinkedIn presence as well. And then we do different direct mailers. During COVID, we probably did, I think it was a series of 3 direct mailers that we sent out, that they had all of us kind of enhance and kind of mold to what we wanted, to what our message was going to be during, those uncertain times. And it's a little different. The one thing that my boss had always told me is they have more of an Apple style marketing, very streamlined, very, I would say like clean cut. And he's like, yours is a little more out there, a little more outgoing. So like I said, they definitely have a great marketing presence for them. And like I said, they're fully supportive of what I do for myself.
But so when I say like the marketing, are they appealing to the new buyer? Because you're appealing to the new buyer. Yeah.
I mean, they definitely, yes, they definitely have their markets now that they're very comfortable in. Like I said, direct mail.
By the way, that's a problem, what you just said to me. They're comfortable. I think it's just proven. Every time I hear someone say, or we hear someone say they're comfortable, someone comes up from behind and takes them over. There's no room in our industry for comfort or the way it was.
Yeah.
So what really excited me when I started seeing you is just you picked your own persona, and then you've been working on it and you've been building it, and it's been awesome. And it's I mean, we see a lot of people on LinkedIn, but I think you're rather unique in what you're doing. Right.
Yeah. Like I said, that was my main point, was to stand out, even from the littlest details to the different kinds of glasses I wear, to the fact I changed my hairstyle or everything. I wanted to be memorable. Like, I didn't want someone to go through LinkedIn and see video, but never kind of put the 2 and 2 together. So I, like to stand out.
You've accomplished that. Do they ever have any schools in, or young people in, or what do they do for the younger crowds? Now that they have you there, they got to entertain some others.
I know they did. I work from home, so I haven't even been in the office in probably a year and a half now.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes. It's insane. But the other thing is I live an hour and a half away from my office as well.
Okay.
So when I got the position, that was one of the key points, was that I was working from home, again, to watch over my brood of children. But they do a lot of different things to get the younger people involved and educated. And like I said, even though they're comfortable with the markets they have, we kind of have been that one freestanding company that didn't get hurt from COVID. We're seeing all these other larger privately owned companies print companies around us that were just failing. And we were kind of the ones that were scooping up everything as we went.
Why do you think that is? Because that's pretty incredible.
Well, the one main thing is that they were still spending when everybody kind of stopped spending money on anything. We've gotten new equipment to keep up with, demand of what was happening. They did a ton of research and had people come in on research on, okay, well, COVID has changed how a lot of this stuff is happening. What do we need to focus on? And they never really stopped. I want to say like business as usual. A lot of the companies around here, we saw them all like go to a screeching halt and lay a bunch of people off and do all this stuff. They never really did that. We had a couple furloughs that kind of rolled around and people got to volunteer for them and things like that, but they never stopped the momentum they had from before COVID. And like I said, and now, we're doing great. And, we didn't lose anybody.
I think I'm going to have to interview your bosses after, because that's, no, really, I think that's pretty outstanding. Because I've heard a few stories of people doing well. I think there's more stories of people not wanting to say that they're doing well, just because of, what the neighborhood and what's around us. But I certainly think it's given people the ability or the have to really take a hard look at their shops now and their companies to see what they're doing and try to get with it. I think if you weren't doing direct mail before and you haven't started doing it yet, you got bigger problems.
A lot of people are trying to go fully electronic with everything. And even the restaurants where I remember sitting down with my son and his girlfriend the other day. They're 17 and 16. And the menu was, you click on the QR code and you pull it up on your phone. And both of them are like, can we not just get a paper menu? Can we not get something that we can hold and look at? And they're getting frustrated with everything being electronic, especially now that half of them are doing school online. They want to get away from the computer. They're tired of being stuck to this stuff.
I say it all the time. I'm an avid fisherman and I like all my fishing stuff, but I still prefer my Bass Pro Shops catalog in paper form.
Exactly.
How do you see the future coming or rolling out the next little bit?
That's something I've actually been thinking a lot about now that I kind of have time off from actually doing, work on maternity leave, and kind of seeing where the next step goes, kind of planning where, at least for myself, where my next kind of video things, like you said before, during COVID, I was able to post like every single day. And now, I've had kind of a break during the pregnancy. And so really like kind of seeing where everything goes with the marketing side and the selling side, and seeing again, how I can combine the two to be successful, in where this market's going. And it looks like from where I stand, more people are getting more and more, back into the print, like you said, back into direct mailers rather than mass emails. And, I've been working with a few companies now that are trying to take their electronic campaign that they saw did not work for them last year. One of them was a charity organization where they normally got all of their donations through a mass mailer they used. Well, last year they had to go fully electronic and everyone's like, oh, this is great. It's so much cheaper, blah, blah, blah. They got like a quarter of the donations they normally do. So they want to go back to print, to the printed direct mail pieces. So trying to find companies like that and working with them to get back into the print and try to, or even do more of a balance of electronic versus print.
I don't think email is the best for reaching people. Actually, the truth is, the emails that I get from companies that I have bought things from before, that I've enjoyed my experience, I notice those emails with my eyes when they come in.
Yeah.
And all the other stuff falls to junk. But when I get a piece at home in the mail with my name on it, it's like, I know what it is. I know when I'm getting scammed with my name on it, but when my name's on it, I love it.
Oh yeah.
At least it's a personalized scam. It's not a bulk scam.
Not a bulk one.
But it's
to
just
our neighbor.
Yeah, but it's just more fun. The other thing I've been suggesting to people getting into direct mail, because there's a lot of companies that weren't in it before that have ventured into it now. There's a lot of companies in it before that didn't do a really good job with it before. Hopefully COVID's made them step up and learn a little quicker. But I always thought, and preach to people that the best thing to do is a great direct mail campaign, maybe multi-channel from your company over 6 months, where you could document it. And then when you're going to talk to your customers, you're showing them your own real results.
Yes.
Because you still have to spend money on postage, even though you're printing it, it's not free. But
Yeah.
I think more customers would have a better time understanding it if the print companies were doing it on their own, tracking, monitoring, and then explaining it, because it's a tangible that you could talk about.
Yeah, and that's kind of exactly what we did at Heeter with our little 3-part post mailer, and we tracked it. And I even got a couple new clients because of that piece itself, as well as another piece I did where I sent out a personalized postcard, and it linked to it connected with one of my videos. I wore the same exact outfit. I had the same exact picture from the video. And on the one side was a typewriter. And then I tried to use my typewriter to type a message in, but it wasn't working very well. So I hand wrote a note to all of those clients, and I got such a good response back saying, "Oh, hey, this postcard, that's you from the video." Like, they were able to see how it worked with the video and the direct mail piece together. And it got a lot of conversations started, and a lot of people saying, "Well, how do I do this for my product or my service?"
Well, well, that's exactly it. People have to see to know.
Yep.
Right. And also, I think if the company does that themselves, it's easier to train their own salespeople after, because they're talking about their own stuff.
Exactly.
As opposed to somebody else's. Wow. You ever think of going into direct mail on your own to teach it?
I've had a couple ideas of some things that.
By the way, I don't want Heeters to think I'm giving you any ideas or anything, but great minds are entitled to do great things for help others. So that's fine.
Oh yeah, I've had, like I said, the one video I did recently of the video of how I do my videos actually got a huge response from print professionals such as yourself and other people in our groups, and clients saying, "Wow, this was free information on how you do this." And I was able to use it for my own, idea of what they were doing. So I love teaching. One of my favorite jobs is when I was a trainer on print equipment. So I've definitely rattled around that idea of trying something like that.
Anything you'd like to leave us with? Any thoughts on print? Any thoughts just in general?
Well, the one thing, like we've been saying, print is not dead. You guys want to utilize your direct mail pieces. You want to utilize, personalization is huge right now, especially if you do it correctly. One of my favorite things I've gotten since I've had the baby was from Infamil. And they sent me this huge packet and kit, and it had Ivar's name in it. It had the special formula that he was actually on in the hospital, samples and coupons, and whatever kind of marketing tracking they have was amazing, because I felt like that piece that I got was specifically for me. And now that's the formula that we use exclusively. So
on that note, because I remember when we had the kids and all that other stuff, they were giving us not personalized information, but now, whatever the company spent on that little personalization, on the formula, the coupon to get your interaction, make up a number. What did they spend? $20, $30, $50?
Probably less than $75.
Right. And over the course of the next 2 years, you're going to buy how much formula?
Oh yeah, it's going to be in the thousands of dollars worth of formula.
And diapers and. Actually, I think when you get back on the road full time, you should probably do a little story on everything that was sent to you when you had.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I'll stop so no one else gets the idea. Great. So first of all, to everyone listening, I want to thank you again for listening. I want to remind you to go to my YouTube channel and press subscribe. It is, I don't know when this video will be up, but I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers as fast as possible. As soon as that's done, I will make an announcement out to the real world. So sign up. To everybody else, just keep loving print, keep doing what you do. Amanda, thank you so much for coming on and sharing. We're going to have you back as you continue to do more. To everybody else, thank you. It's me, Warren Werbitt. What they think, I love print.